Let's have a cup of tea and a quick chat. If you're a small business owner that's thinking of selling your business, there are three important factors that you'll need to review or analyze. The first one is your business sellable? Is it profitable? Is it in an industry that is desirable? Do you have a buyer in mind? But the most important thing that you will need to focus on, and you can speak with your accountant about this, is it profitable? Cash flow is the most important thing that people look at. Business owners will sometimes say that my business has so much potential, but that's not what a buyer is going to want to pay for. So get with your accountant and review your financials and review several years side by side. I would do 5 years side by side. Typically, a buyer is going to want to see 3 to 5 years, as is a lender. So run those reports to be able to analyze the trends in your business and see what's happening. And if it looks like everything's healthy and you don't have any major dips or anything unusual, then you have a profitable business that is very sellable. And if there are unusual activities, just be ready to explain those. Okay, that's step one. Step two is you're building your lease. Where are you located? Is your lease going to be available for a long period of time? So what I mean by that is somebody that's going to buy your business and borrow money, get an SBA loan, they will need a lease period with an option of 10 years. And that is a guideline that comes directly from the SBA. So if you have a 5-year lease, let's say, they would need the option to renew for 10 years. And then also, is that lease assumable? Landlords can be a real headache. You're already dealing with everything else, and with a buyer, you don't want to be negotiating with a landlord at the wrong time, and then they can mess things up for you. The third thing is, if you have real estate yourself, if your business owns the real estate, is that going to be sold with the business, or are you going to keep it and rent it out? So my father actually retired from his business and he kept his building and he rents that out. It's in a great location on a main street in a really small, quaint town up in New England. And he receives that cash flow. He receives that rent as well as the other income that he has. So do you want to keep the real estate and be the tenant of that, the landlord of that tenant? That will be a good tenant because you know the business. It's been there for years and you know what it can do. Or do you want to just be done with it, retire and sell the whole lot? Now, obviously, if you go for the latter on that, you need to speak to your accountant about capital gains. If you own everything outright, would you like to sell or finance some or a lot of the deal so that you can have income into retirement? Sometimes people will say that they want to sell their business for X amount of dollars because that's how much they need for their retirement, but that's not realistic. However, if you do finance either all of the sale or part of the sale, that will be income into your retirement. And if you're providing seller financing, you can also earn some interest on that. And again, check with your accountant on how that will affect you. I can't speak today. Affect you from a tax perspective. So those are my thoughts on. Sorry, I was trying to get the cup. It's a big cup. Those are my thoughts on your different options for selling your business, and I hope this is helpful.